Hey Jazz, thanks for sending over this information. So firstly, looking at your stats here, registration rate 20%, and you target 25. You know, you can obviously work with that. It's still strong, sitting at 20%. Anything less than that, you know, if you're hitting below 15, it'll be a worry. But it's not end of the world there. I'm sure that could be fixed with a bit of tweaking, and I'd recommend maybe doing some split testing. There's a system called VWO. Visual Website Optimizer, where you can drop in different landing pages and it can automatically split the traffic across the two pages. Otherwise, there might be some split testing features in EverWebinar. So that would be a recommendation there. Play around with maybe the form, content, headlines, that sort of stuff. You say too many people dropping off the webinar in the first 10 minutes. So whatever you're probably speaking about in that first 10 minutes, I would be changing that to try and get them more enticed to stay. So that could be things like, you know, I don't know, I've not actually watched a webinar, and Brett would probably be better to suggesting some things here in the Fast Client Formula group, but, you know, having something like, if you stay to the end, there'll be an offer, giving the exact lowdown of what you'll be doing, enticing them, giving them snippets of gold at the very start. So providing a lot of high perceived value at the very beginning so they stick around for the rest of your webinar. Not enough people signing up to appointment to roll, so you've got target 25%, 13%. Obviously, that comes down to fixing that little drop-off in the beginning there. So if you've got a 50% drop-off in the first 10 minutes, if you decrease that, fix that leak, then that will ultimately increase. And you say no ideal clients coming. So that's fair enough. So going into this here, the cost per lead is exactly where you want to be. And you mentioned that that's even less now, which is great, around that 7 to 10 pound mark. So that's the top of funnel doesn't need fixing. You keep running that as is, and I think it's the rest of it. You know, these figures in red obviously need fixing. So that will all come so long as you've got this cost per lead as low as possible at the front of the funnel, and fixing these gaps here, then that should tighten the funnel up. So I can't see anything wrong that you'd be doing from a cost per lead point of view. So these are average length time 17 minutes. Yeah, so it's not a lot, is it? So yeah, I'd say that Brett would be have some suggestions there to fix those drop-offs, but I'd be calling out very quickly in the beginning who it's for, who it's not, what you're going to provide in them, sort of value that you can get, and what they get at the very end if they do stay on. And then this audience here, this is it's not wrong at all, but as I say, rapid fire testing in the beginning, try and test some different things, and it comes down to content, not necessarily the audience. So if you think that certain industries are going to be more ideal for your program, then call them out directly in the ad content. So you could say, you know, are you a tradesman currently working over 60 hours a week and looking to change your career and make X amount of money? Obviously, just be careful when you are calling out the ability to make money, because you don't want to be selling something that screams MLM or work from home. But I would be just doing things that are more specific in the content as opposed to the targeting. Sometimes it's not the targeting. It's often better to keep the targeting wide and let your content and your copywriting do the work for you. The better the content and the more specific you are, the better the ad, the more quality of people it will go through. The fact that you've got UK in there, 30 to 50, you know, obviously that's a big population. You've got 1.1 million, which is fine. So in terms of the size, I can't really see too much of an issue there. So I'd probably just be testing more angles, more different, like just create more audiences, do some split testing, and spread your ads across lots of different tests there. And given that you've got a lot of data that's already gone through your webinar, you can probably start to do some retargeting and some lookalikes off your existing data you've already accumulated. Cool. Hopefully that helps. That's my 2 cents. Let me know when you switch things back on, and we can go from there.